Right, let's start today's session. In the last session, we were discussing about complete introduction to .NET. That means .NET framework components. There are two important components are there in .NET. One is CLR, another one is framework class library or base class library. We can say that. Okay, base class library or framework class library in .NET framework. So .NET framework is a collection of class libraries. Without a .NET framework, there is no .NET. Okay. So two .NET framework components are important. One is what, sir? CLR, which is used for execution environment or runtime environment it will provide. Another one is base class library. Using that base class libraries, we can write code. Okay, yes. Now today we'll see garbage collector working style. Then after we will start with C#.NET introduction part. As I discussed in the last session, garbage collector is used to provide automatic memory management. Automatic memory management means what? Idle object can be destroyed from the memory. Objects in use are kept in the memory. So this process is called automatic memory management. But garbage collector is completely worked with the managed heap. Okay. So look at here this diagrammatic representation that I'm explaining. Now let's start with the diagrammatic representation, garbage collector explanation. So this is garbage collector. Garbage collector is completely worked with managed heap mechanism. Managed heap means random memory allocation, means runtime memory allocation is possible. Always garbage collector is divided into three generations. That is generation 0, generation 1, and generation 2. Look at the diagram. So this is totally heap mechanism because garbage collector is completely worked with heap mechanism. So garbage collector is divided into three generations: generation 0, generation 1, generation 2. But always garbage collector is divided into three generations only, no more extra generations. But generation 0 is less than, generation 1 is less than generation 2. Means generation 0 memory is 10 MB. Just for your idea, I'm just giving 10 MB, 20 MB, 30 MB because of to showing generation 0 is always less than generation 1, always less than generation 2. Okay, but who will allot memory for the generations? CLR will allot. Depends on project size or application size. CLR, common language runtime, will allot memory to the garbage collector. Okay, so 10 MB, 20 MB, and 30 MB. Generation 0, generation 1, and generation 2 like this. And in garbage collector, there is a constant rule or thumb rule, we can call it as. What is that constant rule means? Always newly created objects will be placed in generation 0 only. Whatever we create objects for application, always newly created object will be stored in generation 0 only. Garbage collector don't have any right to place newly created objects either generation 1 or generation 2. Assume that we created objects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All are newly created objects only. So that's what it's stored into generation 0. Whenever I'm creating new object for my application, that object has to store in where? Generation 0. But unfortunately, generation 0 memory is going to become full. So in this case, garbage collector will have optimized engine. Yesterday I told you that clearly. Optimized engine is there in garbage collector. Optimized engine is there. This optimized engine will perform a collection means method. What method? Collection means method. Collection means method. Using this method, optimized engine will divide the objects into two categories. Idled objects. This is what? Garbage. Next one is objects in use. Objects in use. Objects in use means what? Objects in use means useful objects. Idled objects means garbage objects. Objects in use means useful object. Okay. So whenever generation 0 is become full, with full of objects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then automatically what will happen, sir? Garbage collector optimized engine will perform collection means method, and using this collection means method, objects can be divided into two parts: idled objects, objects in use. Idled objects means whichever the objects are not useful to run your application. Objects in use means these objects are useful to run our application. So objects in use will not destroyed. Who will destroy it? Idled objects will destroy it. From where? Idled objects can be destroyed from this memory. Okay. Objects in use are automatically come down into generation 1. That means it's flushed down from generation 0 to generation 1. 4, 5, 6, 7 are come down into generation 1. 1, 2, 3 has been deleted from here. So totally generation 0 is become empty. Now newly created object will go and store in generation 0. Okay. Next, for example, generation 0 and generation 1, both generations are going to become full. What will happen? Even at the time, garbage collector optimized engine will perform collection means method in both generation 0 as well as generation 1. In both the generations, whatever the idled objects are there, that means which is not useful to run our application, that can be destroyed, and whatever the useful objects are there, it will adjust into this both generations. If at all it's not adjust, then what will happen? Then this generation 1 objects will come down into generation 2. Generation 0 objects will come down into generation 1. The newly created object will be placed into generation 0. So like this, garbage collector will provide automatic memory management. This is the working style of garbage collector. But whatever I told this process, whatever I just explained the process, this total process is programmable. Programmable means what, sir? Microsoft people has written complete programming part for working style of garbage collector. So garbage collector will provide automatic memory management. So as a programmer, you need not to what we can say, write any memory management code, because garbage collector will take care internally this memory management. Okay. So this is garbage collector working style, how it will prepare memory management while running the application code under CLR. Yes, GC garbage collector is one of the subcomponent of CLR. You know that CLR is a main component. CLR is categorized into 4 subcomponents. Yesterday we discussed that: CLS, CTS, garbage collector, just-in-time compiler. Okay. Yes. So this is working style of garbage collector. It's not required, just for idea purpose. I'm just explaining this, how it is going to be allot memory and deallocate memory. Okay, no problem. Now this is complete introduction part. We completed only .NET framework introduction, all those things. Now, as we discussed in the previous sessions, first we'll start with C#. Okay. First we'll start with C#, C#.NET. And next we'll, after completion of C#.NET, next we'll start with ASP.NET. First we'll start with C#, C#.NET, C#.NET, C#.NET. See, C#.NET, C#.NET, and C#.NET. Point number 1, C#.NET is a programming language. What is C#.NET, sir? C#.NET is a programming language. What kind of programming language it is? C#.NET is a high level, object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language. Generally, programming language is for what purpose? To write coding purpose, to write application logic purpose, we use C#.NET. C#.NET is a high-level object-oriented programming language. C#.NET is a high-level object-oriented programming language. C#.NET is most powerful programming language. Why? Because C#.NET is equals to C++ plus VB 6.0 plus Java plus additional features. Additional features. C++ plus VB 6.0 plus Java plus additional features, we can say that. That means once you learn C#.NET, you will be able to get all features of C++, VB6 and Java, and additional features also will be there in C#.NET. It's powerful programming language. And moreover, C#.NET is a case-sensitive programming language, sir. That means while writing the code using C#.NET, how the way you declare the variables and all, same way how to access. If you access different way, it will not work out. Okay. So C#.NET is a case-sensitive programming language. It is a case-sensitive programming language. Yes. Next, in C#.NET, and as I discussed in the previous sessions, different types of applications we can develop using .NET. Mainly in our topics, console application, Windows Forms application, and web application with ASP.NET, including connectivity with SQL Server we discussed. First, we'll start with console application in C#.NET. This application is very, very important application for every beginner of C#.NET. What is console applications are? Point number one, console application is a standalone or a desktop application. Console application is a standalone or desktop application. We can say that desktop application. What is standalone or desktop application? Standalone or desktop application means the application once we prepared, once we develop, where we install, there only it will run. For example, in particular mission you install, on that particular mission only it will run. This is called console application. Console application is a standalone or desktop application. Okay. Next, console application. Console application is completely is completely CUI. CUI based. CUI based means command user interface or character user interface. When we are working with console application programs, if you try to give input in the form of characters only, and you will also get output in the form of characters only. So input and output both you are getting in the form of characters only. Okay, that is called character user interface or command user interface. We can say console application. Next, in console application, in console application, console application, console is a class. Console is a class. Yes, it is a class. It's a predefined class, and it is present in. It is present in. Is present in. Present in system namespace. It's present in which namespace? System namespace. System namespace. Namespace means what's a header file. Yes. How C programmers, C++ programmers will use header files. Even Java programmers, how they'll use packages. Same here in C#.NET. Namespaces, we can call it as namespaces. In console application, console is a class and it is present in system namespace. If you not include system namespace, console class will not work, sir. Next point, console class. Console class. Console class is used to work with input and output stream. Input and output stream. Output stream means if you want to give input any values, if you want to get output, then compulsory console class is required in the console application. Without console class, you can't give input, you can't get output. Console class is used to work with input and output stream. Next, console class is having methods. Yes, console class is having methods. What methods? Yes, these two methods are there. One is write method, write method. Next one is write line method, write line method, write line method. Next one is read method, read method. Next one is read line method, read line method, read line method, read line method. See, these are the important methods which are associated with console class. Write and write line methods are output methods. Means if you want to display output to the user in output window or output screen, then we use write and write line methods. Write method and write line method difference is what? If you want to display output statements within the same line, then we can go for write. Or if you want to display any output statements in line by line, then you can go for write line. The write method is used to display statement onto the screen within the same line, whereas write line method is used to display statement onto the screen in line by line. Okay. But read and read line methods are what's our input purpose. Input means what you are going to give values to the program at running time. That is input. So input purpose, application will use read and read line method. Read and read line methods are what methods? Input methods. Means if you want to give input, then you can give input. Your input should read by the application. For that, we use read or read line. But what is the difference between read and read line? Yes, read method will read single character or next character. Read method will read single character or next character, next character, next character from user input, from user input. Okay, and that too read method will read ASCII value of the character, ASCII value of the character, ASCII value of the character, we can say that. Yes, read method will read ASCII value of the character. Every character is having ASCII representation. For example, you can see I'm just asking in the output window, enter your name. I'm asking. I have to enter the name. I'm just giving my name. I'm inputting this name. Whenever you are giving input this name, you have to read that. To read this name, this is user input, no? To read user inputs, we use read or read line method. Now I'm talking about read method. If you read method will read what? Single character or next character from user inputs. Means first it will read M, then after it will read O, then after it will read H, A, N, like this. Read method will read single character or next character. And that too, it will read what's our ASCII value of the character. ASCII value means what? Every character is having some ASCII representation. No? M is having ASCII value, O is having ASCII value, H is having ASCII value. That is number. That's what the return type of read method is what's our integer. This you have to remember. Return type of read method. Return type of read method is int. Sir, what is read line method? Read line method will read group of characters. At a time, it will read group of characters. All characters will read. And group of character means what? String values. Yes, it will read string type. String type. All group of character means string type only. So it will read string value. So return type of read line method is what? String only. As soon as when we enter the name, when we use read line method, it will read, it will, it will read all the characters in the group. Means string values only it will read. Okay, complete string values it will read. So this is the difference between read line and write line. Write line methods are output methods. Read line means input methods. Means if you want to give any input values to the program, then we can use read or read line. This is console application C#.NET basic introduction. Let's close this. Now we have to go with practical implementation. How to start, how to create console application. But as I said that to create console application or any other application and to write any programming part of C#.NET code or any other language code, compulsory you have to install what's up Visual Studio software. Visual Studio is just an editor tool which is used to write .NET code and compile .NET code and execute .NET code. Visual Studio you have to download and install. How to download and install? The latest version of Visual Studio is 2019. So I'm going to show you how to download and install simple steps. First, go to Google. Go to Google. Type download Visual Studio 2019. As soon as when we press enter, you will be able to see that visualstudio.microsoft.com. This is download Visual Studio. Now, you will be able to see three options here. One is community version, professional, and enterprise version. As I discussed already, community version is powerful IDE free for students, open source, and contributors and individuals. Professional IDE is best suited for small teams. It's a free trial. Enterprise edition scalable and end-to-end for large-scale projects, larger team size. This is also free trial. Professional and enterprise editions are free trial version, means hardly 1 month. 1 month you can able to use it. Later, your evaluation period will be expired and you have to purchase it from Microsoft. But here, what I'm saying, community version I'm trying to download. So this version I strongly recommend. You can click on free download option. Once you click on free download, you'll be able to get Visual Studio 2019.exe file. Once if you get Visual Studio 2019.exe file, you have to install that. Just double click on the next, install it. Even while installation, if you don't know how to install it, I strongly recommend to visit YouTube channel www.youtube. YouTube. You can go to YouTube, and in this YouTube, what we need to do, we need to just type steps to install Visual Studio 2019. Okay, how to type steps to install Visual Studio 2019. Now after that, you will get this video how to download and install Visual Studio 2019. You can follow this. Okay, here this also you can follow this, no problem, step by step. But here while downloading installation time, at the time of installation time, it will ask Microsoft account. Microsoft account is just a matter of minutes. Within 1 minute, you can able to create Microsoft account. So why sir Microsoft account means, actually even when we download and install community version, after 1 month time, it will ask you to update your software for lifetime. So at the time of updation, that will ask Microsoft account, mail ID and password. If we give, then click on update means continuously you can able to use that software without fail. That is the case. Once you can follow these steps clearly and be ready with this software Visual Studio 29. While installation of software, still if you are getting any trouble, so you can ask me in the coming sessions. I'll assist you how to do that. Okay. Yes. But in my computer already, I download and install Visual Studio 2019. As usual, when we install Visual Studio 2019, along with that, .NET Framework 4.7.2 will come. Okay, that is framework version. Let me show you how to open Visual Studio. You should go to search, type Visual Studio, and you can see Visual Studio 2019 is there. Click on it. Once you click on it, it will prompt on dialog box here. This is the dialog box here, first time. So left hand side, you can see this console app 1, .NET at 10 a.m., .NET at 7:30 p.m., .NET at 6 p.m., 5:30 p.m. So many batches I'm handling. So all recent projects are available here. But I don't want to work with recent project. I need to create a new project for your batch. So how to create new project means you have to click on create new project option is there, template. Once we click on it, it will ask you to select the programming language and some options. What options? I'll show you now. Now you can see while creating new project, you can see, sir. So 3 options you must and should activate. What is option number 1? What programming language you are using for developing console application? C#. Our programming language C# only. On which platform you are going to work? Windows. I have Windows operating system. Which type of application you are going to create? Console application. So I'm selecting console application. Now there are 2 options. It is important. Don't worry, sir. I'll show you clearly in coming sessions what is .NET Core and what is .NET Framework. .NET Core, some programs also I'll show you with .NET Core, and most of them I'll show with .NET Framework only. Only the difference is you can see console app .NET Core means once we select this template, your code can be able to run on multi-platforms, means Unix, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, anywhere it can be run. But if you choose console app .NET Framework, your project will be run only on Windows-based operating system. Initially, I'm going to start with console app.NET framework. Later, I'll show you how to prepare your code with the .NET framework, .NET Core instead of .NET framework. Okay, .NET Core is also one of the framework. It's a libraries, and .NET framework is also there. It is platform dependent. It is platform independent. Independent means anywhere you can run. Initially, I'll go with this one. Okay, select my console app.NET framework and click on next option. Once you click on next option, it will ask you to create a new project. But here you can see this project name is there clearly. The project name should be any name, but let it be console app 1 only, no problem at all. But here the location is available in C drive only, but I don't want to store this into C drive. Let's click on ellipse button. I'm going to choose F drive. I want to store your project into F drive only. Let's flip to F drive. Select folder. In F drive, console app 1. Okay. Or else we can better to create a new folder for your batch purpose. Okay. How to create new folder, you know that very well. I'm just creating new folder .NET at 430. Right click on it. Go to new folder. I'm creating folder name. New folder name. Right click on it. Rename. Now you can see .NET at 4:30 p.m. It's my folder name. Once I create folder, I'm selecting this folder. After that, select for target folder. Now you can see console app 1 .NET at 4:30 p.m. 4.7.2 .NET framework. I chosen this framework automatically. Now click on create. So your project name is console app 1. Your project type is console application. Your framework is 4.7.2. Your language is C#.NET. Your platform is Windows operating system with .NET framework. Everything is ready. Now it will create one console application. You can see this. So this is the basic structure of console program. Using system.collections.generic, using system.link, language integrated query, system.text, system.reading.task. This is the basic structure of console program. These all are built-in libraries or predefined libraries. These are all predefined namespaces or predefined libraries also you can call it as. This is what's a user-defined namespaces. Just now I created one application that is namespace name. That means console app 1. It is also called as project name. By default, when we create console application for the first time, you will be able to get one class with the name program. And this class is having a main method, static void main. M must and should be capital. And what is string square bracket args, sir? It is just a command line argument, sir. This is what, sir? Command line argument, we can say that. What is this? Command line argument. Command line argument. Command line argument. Now, in this command line argument means just you are going to work with console application with command prompt application. So whatever you are giving input to the application, that will be treated as character form, and even you will get output also in the form of characters only. That's what it is. Strings bracket args, command line arguments. But including command line argument is optional, sir, not compulsory required. Okay. But this is a main method. This is an entry point of the program. But before going to write code, I need to explain some important windows. You can see this. From right hand side, you can observe carefully. There is a right hand side. Solution Explorer is there. It is very important to you. Every time as a programmer, if you want to manage your files and folders, you must and should visit Solution Explorer only. In this Solution Explorer, your solution is already there. Your solution name is what? Console app 1. Console app 1. Okay, your solution name is console app 1. Once your solution is there, okay, in this solution, one class is already created, program.cs. This is program.cs, console app 1, program.cs. Once program.cs is available, then what will happen, sir? This is program.cs. CS means what? C# extension. By default, when we create console application, it will create one class, that is program.cs it will create. Now class name is program. This is Solution Explorer here. Later also, when we add many number of classes to this project, you can able to manage that classes and delete and rename and create folders, add folders, anything you can do with Solution Explorer. And even toolbox, left hand side toolbox is there, and Server Explorer is there. Server Explorer is nothing but from Visual Studio to SQL Server database connection purpose, we use this Server Explorer. Later I'll show you in the context of ADV.NET, I'll discuss with Server Explorer here. Now let's start write the program here. If you want to write a program, just slowly I'll start with basic things. First, I'm going to show you some output statement. Console is a class. But look at here in this programming code, as soon as when we type CONSO, so immediately IntelliSense is coming. This is IntelliSense. And once IntelliSense you got, then what we have to use, you can go to that particular location, which class you want access, press enter. Automatically it will be available into your code. After the .wr, whenever I type WR, what is starts with WR? Right line methods are coming. First, let me use write method. Okay, write method. I'm giving here hello. Then semicolon ended. And here I'm taking console.write method again. Hello Durga soft. I'm taking Durga soft. Okay. So this is my simple program which I want to show basic way. If you want to execute this program, first you have to compile, then after run. Or else compilation and run with only one button you can do also. If you want to do both parallelly, compilation after that automatically run, you can click on start option. There is a green arrow mark is there in the Visual Studio menu option. Click on green arrow mark, start, or else press F5. Shortcut key also is possible, F5. Okay. Or else if you want to first compile means is there any errors are there or not? If you want to check, then you can go for compile. How to compile? Compile means in the context of .NET build. Build means compile. You can go to build menu and your application name is console app 1. So you can click on build console app 1. If there is no, you can see left hand side build started, build succeeded here, left hand side. Bottom corner you can observe build succeeded is there. If there is no compilation errors, build succeeded. Suppose here I am missing semicolons are here. Wantedly I am missing semicolon. And again, if you try to build this, build console app 1, now you can see build errors are there. What is error? Expected. You just double click on it, it will bring you to which location expected is required. That location cursor is blinking. There we have to give semicolon. Then after that, click on run this. Once you run this, then you can see you will get output in the command prompt window. This is command prompt. But are you looking output? No. So it's just executing, it's coming and it's going. The screen is not going to stay back. Why, sir? It's not going to stay back screen always? Yes. So look at here, screen is not going to stay back. It's coming, it's going. To stay back the screen constantly, then we use one more method, console.read method you have to use. When we use console.read, then it's keep on stay back the screen clearly. So now you can see hello Durga soft, it's coming clearly, but it's look like small size only. It's not properly visible. If you want to change the font size or window size, output window size, after output you can click here and go to properties, and I'm changing font size for clear visibility. 24 I'm giving font size, and layout also I'm changing. Layout is this is width actually 90 width I'm taking, and height is 20. So this is width and layout. So hello Durga soft it's coming. But look at here, hello Durga soft is coming in one line or not? Yes, it is coming in single line. Why, sir? It is because you have written write method. Write method is used to display statement onto the screen within the same line only. If we use write line method, L capital, then statements are going to display in the line by line. You can see line by line it's going to display. Hello is one line, Durga soft is another line. You understand? Hello Durga soft is coming. So if you want to close this output window, either you can press enter button or you can click on close option. Anyone you can do. But there is one more option is there. Here instead of read method, if you use read key, okay, then after executing, what will happen, sir? If you press any key from your keyboard, then your output window will be exit. And just press entering any key, it's coming, it's exit from the output window. So this is the way to handle the program clearly. This is what class? One class only, program. But why don't we add more classes? Yes, we can add more number of classes. Why don't? How to add one more class for this existing console application? You can see, go to Solution Explorer. Yes, project or application means it's a group of classes. As many as classes, as many number of classes you want, you can add that many number of classes clearly. And right click on adding class. In that process, I'm just going to Solution Explorer, right click on console app one, right click on console app one, and go to add, select the new item, or else click on class. Anyone you can use. Select new item, click on new item, and you have to choose class template here, class1.cs. You can click on add it, it will add. Or else another way is also there. Another way is simple way. How to add one more class? Now click on project menu, add class. Once you click on add class, class1.cs, cs means C# extension. Now we got one more class we have successfully added. So class one. Now totally here, Solution Explorer, how many classes are there? Program.cs, initial class. Then after we have added extra class like class1.cs. But observe carefully, while creating console application for the first time, we got one class with program name. Okay, so but here, whenever we add extra class to the application, then this is not showing any main method. Like this is not showing any main method. So while creating a console application, by default one class will come along with main method only. By default it's not. But class one, when we add recently, then it's don't have main method. If you want, you can write it by typing like static space, void space, m capital main. Okay, open and close. But in this main method, string square bracket args is optional. I said that, not compulsory. Or else there is a shortcut key to add main method. If you don't want to type completely static void main method, there is shortcut key. Shortcut key means what? SVM. S for static, V for void, M for main. Press tab key. Cannot double tab, you have to press. Double tab key. Once again, I will tell you. Just wait. S for static, V for void, M for main. SVM, you have to type it. And press double time tab key from your keyboard. Left hand side, there is a tab keys, no? 1, 2. Automatically, static void main will be generated. Here I'm taking one more simple program. I'm taking console.write line. Suppose here I'm taking welcome to Durga soft. I'm waiting. Welcome to Durga soft. And to stay back to our screen, console.read. What is that? Console.read. Console is what's here? Class. Read is what's here? Method. Okay. Yes. But look at here. I would like to execute this program. In this process, whenever I execute this by starting, what will happen, sir? For the first time, you are going to work with the console application. If you add one more class, when we try to run, then you'll get another. What error? It is showing clearly there were build errors. Build errors means compilation errors. It is asking like, would you like to continue and run the last successful build? Means last successful build means what? Last program successfully, whatever we build, would you like to run with that? No means only errors will come. Yes means last successful output will come and errors will come. I'm saying no. So you can see error is clearly shows. What error? Program has more than one entry point defined. Okay, compile with main to specify the type that contains entry point. So it is showing what's our program is having more than one entry point. Entry point is what's our main method. So here class1.cs is having one main method, as well as program.cs is having one main method. So runtime will get confusion, that is ambiguity. Which main method onwards need to be stopped? So to avoid this confusion, what we need to do, sir? We need to change startup object. Startup object means from where it should start. You have to decide as a programmer. That process is called changing startup object. But changing startup object, how to do, sir? Okay. So go to Solution Explorer. Go to Solution Explorer. Double click on properties. Double click properties. and you'll be able to see that here startup object option is there, drop down list. Within the drop down list, how many classes you have in your application, that many classes will available. And now you can see already program.cs we executed. Now we would like to run this class1.cs. Select this one and click on save and run this now. Save compulsory required, otherwise changes will not come. Now you can see welcome to Durga software school. Understand? So this is the way to add classes. This is the way to change startup object and execute the program. Like any number of classes you can add to your console application. So this is just a basic introduction of console program, how to handle these classes and files and all. So in tomorrow's session we'll continue. So today I joined late. I'm sorry for that, because due to some work, unfortunately I joined late. So tomorrow onwards we'll continue the session. Tomorrow I'll be sharp in online, like at 4:30 p.m. only. I'll be sharp at 4:30. I'll start sharp at 4:30. I'll end with 5:30. Okay. Yes. And those who already registered, don't worry, you people. Okay, once I'll get mail IDs from DurgaSoft, I'll send complete. I will send this up to now, whatever we discuss, all recorded videos to you, your Google Drive, and along with C Sharp material part one up to I'll send to you. Okay, don't worry that. And those who not registered, so if you really wish to continue, please do immediately register. Okay, so ask them to give your mail ID to me, then I'll send the videos and material. So that's all about today. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. No problem. I'll wait for here 2 minutes for you, and you can ask me the questions. Otherwise, you can leave it and join on same link tomorrow also. Any questions, Mr. Mayander, Madhusudan, Srinivas?
Sir, why you use key,
Read key.
read key?
Read key is nothing but whenever you are getting output window, if you want exit or if you want to come out from this output window, you can press any key from keyboard, it will exit. That is read key. But instead of read key, when we use read method, you have to press only enter button only to exit from the output window. That is only difference.
Okay, okay.
Yes. See you tomorrow at same time. Have a nice day.